Tell me where the original idea for Fangirl came about.
Sure. It is loosely based on my daughter and her friends. I was listening to them talking, one day, many days, and some of the things that they would say I thought were pretty funny, and so it started there, and it grew into a story.
Now,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, this film is very similar. I don't know. It's like there are a lot of teenage girl movies, like Duff or Heathers, or. But you know what I mean.
Sure.
Is that what you were trying to go for, or you thought it was just completely original?
No, I mean, I know that that's certainly a film genre, but we wanted it to be, a high school comedy for modern kid. So that's where all of the, social media comes into play. There's also a lot of irony in this film. So yeah.
One big difference about Fangirl, our film, from other sort of teen comedies, is that even though it does have social media, it's talking about like sort of being a teen right now. It also involves this community of pop punk fans,
right?
And I think that's a big difference.
Right.
That like we have so much pop punk music and All Time Low, and in a lot of ways, our movie's about a young girl whose creativity comes out of her being a fan and her passion for this one band. And that's something I
hadn't seen anything about that, the pop punk fan base ever before.
And that was definitely something fresh and original neither of us had seen before.
Is your daughter a punk rock fan? Is that what's going on?
She was. When I started writing this, she was younger. She was 14, 15, and now she's 18. So things have changed.
So you're the punk rock fan.
Well, I'm a product of the 70s and 80s. So yeah, it was different punk then. It wasn't pop.
Now, one of the things that was fascinating about this film was the utilization of social media. But I'm part of a different generation, so obviously I would have to research a little bit. I mean, was this a easy transition for you folks?
Well, I would research with my daughter. I would run to her and say, "Well, what's this? How do you do this? Why do you do this? How do you do this?" And just by being in the world and knowing about, the way people communicate, especially that generation, because I have kids, I was always able to have somebody to ask and to see it. It's always present.
But before I knew about the band being involved in the script, I knew about it being a movie about a young girl and interacting with social media. And that got me really excited. And little did I know, because I thought, that sounds really current, I'm interested in social media. Little did I know my education would be like, this is how you take a selfie, or this is a half-face selfie, or this is the Southern girl selfie. And like all this and so I just was like, I had to just be a sponge, like whether it was from Gina or from our young cast, to just educate myself on all the things I didn't know.
Right.
And that was really inspiring, like just how much this vocabulary had changed from what I was familiar with.
Right.
Oh, I actually thought all those clicks was just made up for the movie.
No. Actually, they're not.
Yeah, so in the movie, our main character, Tallulah, sort of sees all of these, the new social media clicks that have appeared in the high school landscape. And Gina does such a great job like nailing all of that. And so we really pay homage to that with a reference to an All Time Low music video that sort of like helps us introduce all these different new clicks that when I was in high school we never had.
Right.
But it's so great. And
the fan base, the All Time Low fan base, will certainly recognize what we were doing in the hallway, and I think it plays well for everybody. But they'll certainly get a kick out of it, I think.
Yeah, that's like the tease sort of snap for those of us who are not currently in this high school young women.
Absolutely. I mean, half the film is about the band and the music. Tell us about the development of all that.
Sure. Once I was finished with my first draft, I had inserted songs into where I wanted to hear them and thought it was appropriate for the scene. Once that was finished, I sent it off to Hopeless Records, and they were very receptive to the idea. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to take this to the next step now and start rewrites, and that's how it began.
And who is actually the band per se?
Well, the person at the label, Hopeless Records, was Ian Harrison. He's who I spoke with, and Keith Laserchak is All Time Low's band manager. So they were involved.
And the band
with
is
each
All
other.
Time Low, which
Yeah.
is I didn't know this, but they're an extremely popular band all around the world. They have a huge presence online, and their music's so exciting. And like they just recently, their new album premiered like #2 on the Billboard charts, and they were just there. They were on, obviously they're in the movie, but their music is all throughout, and they're a big part of what makes the movie terrific.
Yeah, and we were able to squeak in 4 of their new songs off that new album. So I was
And that's true.
to it.
Yeah.
Well, that's very fortunate.
Yeah, it really worked out.
I didn't even know that that they were a really popular band.
Yeah, they're and
You have to be a fangirl.
You have to be a fangirl. But yeah, if you go online, you see just how passionate and excited their fans are about this community, and a lot of that has to do with how great this band, All Time Low, does at reaching out and making a connection with their community, and that's a big part of social media too. Is like how we get to shrink our communities and reconnect and reshare stuff, and hopefully the film sort of like in a funny way sort of talks about that.
Well, plus they're really fun, funny, likable guys, so that helps so much.
Yeah.
You know?
What about extending the humor? There's plenty of humor. I laughed out loud throughout the entire film, which I thought was very hilarious itself. I mean, talk about the development of the humor, because it's very relatable to the young teens with this.
Well, I mean, one thing I was you get so excited when you hear the cast, many of which were like 14 or 15, say, these characters talk like us, they talk like my friends, and it got them really excited about the words and about like really nailing the comedy, which Gina did such a great job writing. But it's true, and so comedy a lot of the times is like it's like music. You just want to hear the harmony of like what you say and then where I have the space and it comes back. And when you really start doing that, it just like builds and it's just like it sounds like it's like a symphony. It just sounds like really great music.
Yeah, it was relatable. The material is relatable to the kids and the cast kids, and I think that helped bring a lot of the humor out because they knew exactly how to say what.
The other part of that is also like we had the great opportunity to bring a lot of people together who we'd all worked with before. Gina and I worked together. I produced a movie that she had written, and that sort of environment like allowed us to all have a lot of like collaboration and fun, and that sort of helps with comedy too. That you just get to create an environment where we're all sort of open to try things and be silly, and that's when you find the funny.
It was a really fun set. It was really fun to work on.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about the cast itself. I mean, you brought in a perfect cast. They're all hilarious. They all have perfect chemistry.
Thank you for saying so.
Yeah, that's great. You know, we had 2 wonderful, wonderful casting directors, and one is Patricia DeSerto, and the other is Christine Kromer, and they had their work cut out for them because we had 35 speaking roles, but they managed to do it, and they brought us the best people. I mean, we couldn't be happier. It was thrilling.
We love, like, obviously Kiernan Shipka is terrific in the movie, and she does such a good job as Tallulah, and Meg Ryan, who plays Mary, is so amazing and so funny. But one thing that Gina did such a great job is giving opportunity for these like supporting roles to have like really funny scenes, and it just keeps you always laughing with like the new characters who are coming in, and it gives the opportunity for our cast to just always have like another fun scene to be doing together.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was always fun because everybody had like a good opportunity to do something great.
And a lot of them have become friends now. You know, it's really I don't know, makes you feel good.
Yeah, and you see them on social media
Yeah.
like being still connected.
Well, the one thing I was surprised that you brought in Meg Ryan to do really, really ridiculous things. I mean, how did you convince her to do that? Did you kidnap somebody or something?
No. You know what? She's a funny lady.
You had naked photos, right?
No. So yeah, Meg Ryan read the script and really wanted to do it, and I think she liked the relationship between the mother and daughter a lot, and then like no one quite figuring it all out, and this sort of funny relationship of it felt really real to her.
Yeah.
And that we were just so lucky that she had just come off directing her first film and getting to work with us, and
I still have to pinch myself because I worship her. She's just so funny and really delivered every line so well, and yeah, I can't believe she's in a film still. It's amazing.
What, since this being an independent comedy itself, which was well done, almost to the point where it could be easily in the theatrical theaters themselves, what do you suppose was the greatest challenge for an indie comedy like this for the production?
Days.
Money.
Yeah, days and money are sometimes the same thing. It's like comedy needs time to breathe, and you need time to be able to not rush it. And it's always hard in indie film to get it all done in the limited number of days you have, and that's why you got to be smart and be like, okay, well, we're only going to do this thing for half a day because we really want to spend time on other things so we can really play and have fun and find it. And that's always the challenge with an indie film is finding that balance of where you spend your time and how you use your resources.
Awesome. Could you guys talk about any of your future upcoming projects you may have after Fangirl?
Sure. I'm writing 2 projects right now. One is a screenplay, and the other I'm going to try my hand at television. So I know I haven't written, full drafts yet, but I'm in the process, so that's what I'll be doing.
I'm adapting a book that's going to be a screenplay, and I'm writing another script that's an original piece, and a sports documentary. Those are the things I'm working on.
Terrific. And I have one final question, because obviously everyone could possibly be related to a fangirl. I want to know which bands that you were a fangirl or fanboy of that you were obviously obsessed when you were younger.
I'm still crying that I didn't get tickets to the Rolling Stones when I was younger, but I like classic rock, so there you go.
I'm a huge fan of Tool, and a friend of mine, I somehow got to meet James Maynard Keenan after a Perfect Circle concert, and it was like meeting a rock god. And he's so smart and such a great songwriter. And I was much younger then, but that was pretty cool. And I still love their music, but that was sort of that. For me, that was my fangirl moment.
Well, terrific. Well, that takes care of the saying where you're not supposed to meet your heroes, but I guess you do want to do it if you're a fangirl fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, hey, it's been a pleasure, and I appreciate this conversation. I want to wish you good luck with the movie.
Oh, thank you
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really